Welcome, everybody. Strength Hammer Podcast, episode 36, with Neil, the man,
Yeah.
La Rocca. Okay. You don't want a long intro for your name? I was going to give you titles. I was going to start a new bit.
The King of Sting, the Count of Monte Fistco.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, all right. Well, Counting my fist. And then myself, Chuck. Hi. I don't get titles. I'm not that important. We're coming to you, I guess in your ears, this will be out a day early. We're recording much earlier just because I got some travel coming up in a few days. I'll be gone the weekend, so want this to be in your ear holes quicker than waiting an extra week without us. So hope you don't mind. The schedule's off a little bit, but you're still getting the same amount of content. So kick things off tonight before I start rambling on about my travels galore at the expense of not me. Neil, you just had a recent visit from a certain letter of the alphabet who's big.
Big M.
Big M. There it
Came
is.
down yesterday that would be Monday for whenever you guys hear this podcast. But yeah, he came down for a full day worth of gaming. So
Nice.
we got some games in. It's awesome.
What'd you guys end up playing?
So we actually played 3 different game systems.
Okay, all right. I'm here.
So we started out with fantasy. He played his dwarves versus my high elves.
Okay.
And it was a good practice learning game / modify the list game for me.
Okay. Get some of the old rust out.
Yeah. Highlights included a turn 2 charge of Eltharion the Grim into a unit of basic dwarf warriors, as well as a combined charge from some dragon princes. You would probably think to yourself, these 15 or whatever they were, maybe 20 dwarf warriors will go. They'll be gone now.
Yeah, maybe stay around one turn, but don't expect much.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. So what happened was I killed many of them, and then they attacked back. Now Eltharion has a 3-up armor save. There's 3 wounds that got through.
Is he 3-up? Or he's not 2-up?
And so I rolled the armor saves and failed those, all of them.
Okay.
So we're talking all 1s and 2s. And then he has a 5-up ward.
Oh,
and
that's
I
right.
promptly rolled those and did not get a single 5. So young wargamers, when you roll 1s and 2s on 3 dice, now maybe this is maybe just I don't know, just kind of I'm gonna ask you to pick up 3 different dice. Never roll those same 3 dice that you just failed with, because they are guaranteed to fail.
Wow.
So that's just a little lesson we learned there. So Eltharion died on turn 2. That was my general.
That's not good.
An organ gun opened up and destroyed an entire unit of reavers very easily without sweating.
No, that's not too out of ordinary there.
Easy.
I get that.
I did end up killing a large unit of hammerers in this game, and that is all I can really say, as I was promptly tabled, probably turn 5-ish by Matt. So
okay, all right. So we got some
good.
This thus begins the redemption arc of the Prince Caladriel. That's your name, correct, in the game?
Yeah. Well, he's not actually in the army. It's all Eltharion, so they couldn't fit him in. But I guess he is. He could be the noble. So yeah. Calandriel. Yeah. So he is. But the thing that makes me so butthurt about that charge is it was set up perfectly to go into what are the ones the flame cannon dwarves. So
Oh,
if
yeah, yeah.
I win combat against these stupid dwarf warriors, which I should, right?
Right.
They run away. I overcharge straight into those guys who are on because it's the scenario where you might have to come in as a reinforcement.
Oh, yeah, that one. Actually, that one bit me
So,
in the butt as a high elf versus Matt too. So,
yeah, so 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 I would have been perfectly into those guys again, and then probably would have pushed them right off the board as well.
right.
So that would have went from disaster into probably a victory for me very shortly thereafter. But was not meant to be. Now I will say that we did roll it. You have to roll off for each unit.
Right.
When you roll a one, they have to come in as reserves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Matt roll. I think he had 8 units in his army. Matt rolled 5 ones.
Ouch. Yeah, it sounds about right for
So
Matt.
most of his army was in reserves, and we decided that that might not be very good for him.
Right.
So, so we decided to have that not happen in the interest of playing a test game. And
It's fair. That's fair.
mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the luck of the scenario might have made that end up better in a tournament scenario. But again, that would have been pure luck and not indicative of how that game turned out.
Well,
But,
hey, I can say that you're probably going to see that scenario at the Terathi Invitational because it's I want to hear people swearing, and that's the best scenario to make it happen.
saucy, I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun game. Fun game. Got me shaking off the rust a little bit there. We were diving back into the rules book constantly because
Yeah.
But it came back a little bit.
I look forward to this invitational for being Warhammer Fantasy Battles and everyone except like half the field having a bunch of games under the belt and the other half having 2.
Right.
That'd be pretty interesting.
I think what we'll find is that game 1 will be incredibly slow. And then once you learn your army in game 1, I think game 2 will go faster, game 3 will go fast, so on.
Game 3, that's probably when the drinks will be hitting us, so.
Yeah.
Because none of us are driving anywhere, so.
No. That's going to be amazing. Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad to see that. I got some Terathi updates. Terathi Invitational updates I can give here at the end. But what was the next game you played?
Next game, we went to some 40K action because Big M was pretty fired up about his vote. I don't know if you can call him fired up about his vote, and he did want to get him out and see how they would work.
Right.
So he was extremely limited in his army based on what has been released so far for them. So he had 600 points. So we played a 600-point game of 40K. Now, if you know anything about Votann or Tau, they're fairly similar armies meant to shoot you at range. I got some stuff that ignores some invulns, although those have not been released, I don't think.
Right.
Or Matt didn't use them based on a little bit of nerf they took. So I wound up going first, deployed 2 units. So I had 2 units on the battlefield. They were both Fire Warrior strike teams.
Yep.
Long range rifle guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hid them so that actually Matt winds up going first, but I hid these guys so that Matt couldn't shoot them. He advanced his army. I had a commander that was just tooled out, which was a little ridiculous maybe for a 600-point game, and a unit of crisis suits, also fairly well tooled out.
Okay.
He left his backfield open. I dropped them down in the second turn and pretty much took out 3/4 of his army in one go.
There you go. So, there's retribution, I guess. Not elf retribution, but
that was the end of Votann. They really didn't get to do anything.
Some dwarf somewhere were paid the price for that fantasy game, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So that was the pendulum swings. Thus, the pendulum swings.
Yep, so, that's fair. It's fair.
That's really as much as I can sum up that. Based on excuse me, what I saw from them in a 600-point game, I can't say that I'm fairly impressed. Although Matt is still learning.
So. Yeah, 600-point game. I don't know if that's a good litmus test for any army for 40K. So it's...
yeah, that's because Because if I can drop down and I can level like, half of my, maybe more than half of my army into half of your army and make a couple
Yeah.
units go, then all of a sudden you have nothing
I
to hit back with.
I,
So
I honestly think like even 1,000 points in 40K isn't enough to show what an army can do.
yeah,
Like
I'd agree with you.
I think you need 2,000 points for that game easily.
And to be honest, he needs the rest of those units to come out to flush
For
out the
sure.
army.
Yeah, you need those tanks. You need yeah, absolutely.
So, but anyway, I do love that my power gaming with the Tau is still on a trajectory. I said when I took this army that I wanted to do the opposite of what I normally do,
Yep.
and just blow people off the table. I wanted to feel good about myself that way for once.
Yeah, and you are, and I'm glad for it. It's fun to see. I'm glad long ago that we managed to rope you and Dave into 40K. So, we can play so many different war games. I just can't wait until I get you guys into historicals.
Ooh, that's never gonna happen, son.
I'll get you one day.
Sound like the Wicked Witch of Pennsylvania over there. But enough of this 40K talk, because there was one more game.
Okay, what was the other game?
Last game was Age of Sigmar.
Oh, what's that game? I haven't played that game in forever.
Honestly, right? Oh,
No, I'm kidding.
I got another game of Khorne in. So like we're trying to decide. Matt took his Giants and was playing the new book.
Okay.
Right? We're trying to decide, what we want to play, right? And Matt's like, take your Khorne. I think you'll have the most fun with your Khorne.
All right.
I'm thinking to myself, wow, this sounds fishy after that last game.
That's fair.
So,
that's fair.
Under his advice, I did in fact take my Khorne.
Which was fun to see you roll those out from the pictures I saw.
Yeah, well, it was. So I took a tooled up, 30-man unit of Blood Warriors, and thank God he didn't double turn me. That's all I can say. He brought this Gatebreaker that had 40 wounds up and had flaming weapon on it, and was doing 5 damage a piece, and and he got in there before I could get up and like curse one of his giants, right? Which is really how I like to do some damage. And he was roaring that unit of 30 Blood Warriors.
Were you okay? So you were a mortalist more than a demon list?
Pretty much always.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the mortals. I don't know. It's pretty masochistic of me.
There's only one thing worse right now than being demons or mortals, is doing what I do, which is running a mixed list. So you do nothing right.
Right. So I mean, there is some fun things you can pull off, right? If you're within like 12 inches of an objective and you're immortal, you get to reroll ones on the hits. And so when I finally did Curse's Giant, I'm rerolling ones to hit.
Mm-hmm.
I am, hit if I do an all-out attack. I got them hitting on 2s.
Right.
I've got the wounding on 4s. I've got a Blood Secretor that's it's in range, so now they're getting 3 attacks base, and then I've got my Wrathmongers right up behind them, and so if they're wholly within 8 inches, which God, make it more, please. Then they're getting an extra attack as well.
Right.
So so they had 4 attacks, and so that's a lot of 6s you're going to roll eventually. And so I was just chipping away, and damn it if we didn't get one giant. So that was my
there you go. Took one down.
Accomplishment in that game. We took 500 points down as we got tabled very promptly. Boy, was that turn 4, maybe?
Okay.
Maybe 3.
That's
I don't know. Wasn't good.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's good to get them out. They are. I mean, there's them, and there's Gits that hopefully we'll start getting some information about books soon. At least that they're coming.
Yeah.
Just have to wait and see. I
anxiously await that.
Yes. I look forward to a new Khorne book when and if it ever arrives. But hey, you know what? We might get $3 of Kane books between now and then.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding.
Speak not your filth.
No, that sounds like every time. I was pretty jealous. I know Matt has been off this week of us recording here, so he's been painting away. But I can't complain too much. I get to paint while I'm working my real job. But yeah, I was jealous of the games you got in because I have not played a real full-size game of anything in, like I said, at least a month, and it's kind of like I'm
Oh,
kind of tired of skirmish games, everybody.
oh yeah. Well, you were missed. We had a good time. We played that first game of fantasy. We ran out to that Mexican restaurant that's right,
Oh, I want
half
one of those.
mile from the house.
I want those
We
margaritas.
got lunch there, and then I came back to the house.
It's like in hindsight too. Like if he would have done that on a week where I wasn't traveling for work, I probably could have gotten away of just waking up early, driving to your place, and just having my work open
Just
and
working from
and
home.
kind of work from home. I mean, I could do that anywhere, but like I, obviously not fully work, but I kind of work from home.
Yeah.
But it's just like I'm trying to spend as much time with the wife this week so I can,
Sure.
not
I
feel
keep
as bad
catching
for
you on
leaving.
these weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun, but yeah, that's what my week coming up. So hey, if you're near the Kansas City area, October 27th through the 30th is the yeah, the US Open, Kansas City. I'm flying out. I'm actually flying out on the 27th. I wasn't able to get out on the 26th, so I miss helping my team set up. Oh darn. No, I do feel bad with that, but and then flying home real early on the 31st because my hometown where I live is one of the few places left on Earth, I think, that actually does trick or treating on Halloween.
Oh no, Twinsburg,
Oh, you
Ohio,
guys do
right
too?
here.
Oh, that's
We're
great.
on Halloween. Yeah.
I love to see it. I hate when it's like, oh, we're doing trunk or treat. I mean, for little kids, trunk or treat's fine. I get that. I get that. But like, also at
Mhm.
the same time, like, I was running around as a little kid in my neighborhood, but
Heck yeah,
whatever.
man.
Like I said, I like it on Halloween. That's where my old neck beardness, I guess, for Halloween comes in. It's like it must be on Halloween. So I gotta, and because there's a time change, I gotta. I think my flight out Thursday is not that bad. Fly out at 9. I get there around noon. Nice and easy. Down to Charlotte to Kansas City, and then coming back in order to make it home in time because I have to make sure I get through Pittsburgh before rush hour. My flight is at 6:40 in the morning, and I
Whew.
think I think the what is it? Um, the airport is maybe like a half hour away from the venue. So this might be the first time where I finish packing up, check out, shower, check out, and go to the airport the evening before and just deal with it. It's just because I'm like, I risk getting a taxi or like an Uber that early on a
Mhm.
Monday on Halloween. I'm like, ugh. So
Yeah.
that's future Chuck's problem though. But I'm looking forward to the event. Get back to being with the U.S. Open team since I missed Chicago. Um,
Yeah.
I do want to give a quick shout out. I know if you're not near Kansas City, you're not gonna come out to this unless you're already planning to. But looks like a great venue from everything I've seen. But November next month, 17th through 20th, is the finale in Santa Ana. So New Mexico. I think it's near flying into Albuquerque. But it's an expensive event. Narrative for 40K this year, grand narrative that actually is going to be lore driven. Like it's actually going to be in canon with the lore, and it's going to help shape some of the lore in the future for 40K. From what I've been told, it's
Oh, nice.
yeah. I don't know how serious or how much it is, but I'm excited for my role in it. I'm actually going to be helping on the 40K side because the only Age of Sigmar there'll be will be the finale for the winners from the events, and
Mm.
that's going to be less than 20 people, I think. So James O'Brien's going to just handle that. Then they pulled myself and John Barrymore, who's the other Age of Sigmar judge, over to the 40K side because we also know 40K.
Nice.
And it's going to be fun. It's not it's not as much it's a grand narrative, so it's not as much TOing as it is just having fun with the players. And
Oh,
yeah, so
so
I'm really looking forward to that. So if you can make that and it's in your budget, I hope to see you there. If not, I understand. Um, do what's
I
best for your financial situation always. But I'm
I
looking
look
forward to it.
forward to the end of that narrative being everything is Tau. Whole universe is Tau.
Well,
Yeah, we win.
Tau wins. Tau evolved to crab. Um, no, I'm looking forward to doing the recap episode of that. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that recap because I could have you on, Neil, but it would just be me talking for 45 minutes probably, just how excited it was. But
Hmm.
we'll see. That's a month away. We got plenty more content in between then. Outside of that though, I'm at that wonderful, wonderful place that I often get to over and over again, where I have one model left unpainted. My backlog is pretty much empty.
It's a thing I've heard of, unheard of. It's like
Well, I'm a fast painter. I utilize my time in lockdown well, and now that I work from home, it's all gravy. Now that said, I'm not counting the veritable mountain of GW plastic I have from GW for my GW job for next year's US Open. That doesn't count. If I'm getting paid for that, that doesn't count. That's not my backlog. That's GW's backlog. That's their problem.
fair. Let's do that.
That's a separate world. But yeah, so I'm probably, and as I said, I have a Scenari Cathalar is my model. I have it built and primed. Not touching it. I'll leave it unfinished so I can come home, have something to do. I'll probably pick up a box of, I'm thinking Blade Lords at the US Open if they have it. You know, I'll pick up something there, or like maybe a Forge World model, something
I was going to ask, are you going to bring an extra luggage case for the new army you're going to buy while you're out there, or what?
Last year, no, I'm not. Last year I did pretty much buy half a Drukhari army. Actually, at pretty much the same event. So it was it wasn't not the same, but it was in Austin. So it was the last event before the finale. I pretty much bought half a Drukhari army, came home, and then just ordered the other half because I couldn't fit it all in my bag. So I thought about that, but I do have Napoleonic starting next year. So those models haven't come in yet. Norm's slowly figuring out what to get. That's not going to be an expensive army. Honestly, that'll be cheaper than any like Warhammer army I've ever done. So
those are made out of just straight lead, right?
Actually, he's getting it. I think he said it's mostly plastic now, but like a few of the heroes will be like the pewter, white metal, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure there'll be a few lead pieces he throws in of something classic too. He's good with that.
I've heard you're like 75% for sure going to get Mad Hatters from playing historicals. So.
Well, that's just part of the wargaming cycle, Neil.
Part of the experience.
I'm looking forward to being crazy 20 years before you. All right, you can jump in with me anytime. But no, I say I'm not. It's a good feeling. Like it's a weird. Like I both love and hate the feeling of having a brand new army project sitting on my desk, and I both love and hate having like no backlog. You know, it's like I love and hate all of it because like if there's a giant mountain of plastic on my desk, I'm like, ooh, look at all the potential. It's gonna be fun. But then it's like, it's a lot of work. And then the opposite where it's like, oh, I have one model. It's like I'm gonna have all this free time. Free time to do what? Like, I only do like a couple things in my life, and that's lift weights and paint models. And if I don't have models, I mean, I can only lift so many weights in a day.
How's the polo coming?
It's been okay. Like that season's kind of ended. The weather's changing. I'm actually going to be doing some trail riding hopefully next week when I get back throughout the rest of the season. So I mean, yeah, and then I'm looking to take some lessons over the winter to get better at horse riding and yeah. So actually, you're right. You're right. We don't. It's not even Strength Hammer podcast anymore. Strength Equestrian podcast. Here we go. Let's start it now.
That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to hear that sweet equestrian news. You know.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. Who cares about our opinions on Warhammer, Matt? Or Neil, Matt. I'm getting all confused here.
Nobody anyway, but that's okay. Yeah. We're still gonna get.
Well, actually, there is a comment from the last show from, you guessed it, Chris Crane. He goes to say, first off, I'm with Dave. October just disappeared on me. And Chuck, if you absolutely need a new project, you could always get some BattleTech. I'm going to stop you right there, Chris. No. I am jumping past the BattleTech. I am going right to Napoleonics. The people I know around here that do historical are less neckbeardy than the people around here that do BattleTech. So BattleTech to me is the lowest. That's where I've gone true crazy. I'm going to put that right now because my scale's off because of the people around me. Not that they're wonderful people. I just don't want to play BattleTech.
Where like that's actually something you could get me into potentially is BattleTech, just because I've been playing those games for, well, the video games at least for forever.
I mean, that's fair. I think everyone around me would want to do that before I even would. But also, I'm the most stubborn individual, so we'll see. Plus, none of you guys are ever trying to be bad influences on me. I'm the one that's a bad influence on all of you, so.
That's right. I just need to send you like a full army of battle mechs, and
Hey, you know what the best part is? I know the return address. I'll send that right around.
Return to sender.
Friendship with Neil overdue to BattleTech.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. I already called you Matt, so we'll just bring Matt back onto the podcast, and then we'll cancel Big M's, and then you can go take over Big M and run it with Cole.
No, you wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that. You wouldn't be getting that in-depth, deep dive into all the good stuff.
But you could play into the stick of like losing all the time. You could call it Big L. I'm sorry, I just like
that hurts. It hurts, but it's you can't argue that really.
That's okay. You'll always dominate our hearts and battlefields in 40K.
Oh, man.
Plus, I'm looking forward to the redemption arc because with the Teyrathi Invitational, did you know the Banner of the World Dragon is allowed, Neil?
Oh, it's in my list.
Absolutely, it should be in your list. Yeah. Why would you ever leave
it out? That is what wrecked a unit of what's maybe 20 Longbeards with hammers rather, not Longbeards.
Yeah, so, how can you tell if your TO is a high elf player? Because you can use Banner of the World Dragon, that's why.
Oh yeah. Base rule. There's no comp in this.
No. Swedish comp, get out of here. No, screw all the comp. I'm so anti-comp.
Anti-comp in every game system, everyone.
Yep, no comp. You know what? Screw it. No FAQs either. Straight book. We're done. We're done. We're not allowing this game company that wrote the rules come in and be like, hold on, we're gonna comp our own game system. No, right out of the book. Actually, for Warhammer Fantasy Battles, it is actually that, because I don't know where any FAQs are, nor do I care.
Yeah.
Straight from the book.
Right.
Fire hose from the tap. But let's talk a little Teyrathi Invitational then to round out our podcast this week. What do you say?
All right, let's hear it. Got some news here.
So I'm still working on it, getting some of the awards set up. Now it's going to be just like any other good event should, where you have awards based upon performance, painting, a bunch of different factors. Not that painting's required, because I'm forcing a lot of people into this, and I don't expect them to have painted armies. But there'll be an award for painted. There's also going to be prizes. Now, prizes are randomly given away, as any good event should do, because it's all, you win your pieces of paper, you randomly earn plastic. So right now I have 3 to my prize pool for the random prizes. Would you like to know what they are, Neil? It's a little sneak peek.
I would love to know what they are. Let's hear it.
So the first, it's actually a Age of Sigmar. Well, technically it's Underworlds. It's Mogwai's Blood Coven. So any good Teyrathi Invitational event needs to give away some Daughters of Cain or some Dark Elves. And now they can absolutely be rebased, but and it's not part of the prize pool entirely because I accidentally ordered a set after I already had 2. That's not the case at all, Neil. I just want to assure you. I know that popped into your mind. Says, hey, I know Chuck has 2 of these, one in his Underworld box and one in his Teyrathi army. There's no way he would have ordered a 3rd accidentally and now using it as an award. That's not the case. Just
clearly not.
The next prize, even though we're not using end times in this invitational, because we didn't want to get too crazy. People need to learn how to play the game before they learn how to break the game.
Right.
But I am giving away an extra set I have of the Warhammer Battle Magic Endless End Times spells.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, so 22.
Like that.
This set contains 22 end time spells from Warhammer Cain, obviously the best of the end times books. Printed on individual cards as a handy reference to use in your battle. You will need a copy of Warhammer and Warhammer Cain to use these contents of the set, which we could always procure that if needed, but I have copies for myself. But yeah, no, there'll be and actually, I mean, it has the lore spells. This is like for every army. There's like a spell I think in here as well as some universal ones. So hey, whoever wins this, they might be generous and willing to split it up to the people who have certain armies. We'll see. We'll see. But that's a mighty prize. But right now, the biggest prize I have, still sealed in the cellophane. The box is a little beaten up, but still sealed in cellophane. An unopened box of Tomb King Skeleton Warrior Regiment.
Nice.
Yep, you're gonna get I think 16 fully in here. And you know what? I can't wait to see who wins it and see what they do with it.
You know what? You have a fourth one. Are you aware of that?
I am not. What's my fourth one? Because I really don't know.
Your fourth one is going to be provided by me. It is a still in cellophane wrapped box of Imperial whatever swordsman / halberdiers / whatever you can turn those guys into / spearmen. So that'll be given to you to give out to whoever.
That will be a great.
It's not me.
Well, there's a few more things I'm going to try and get for random prize giveaways, and we'll. I think it's going to be a great little event. I am excited that the hosts of the event, the Barn Owls, the club I'm a part of, and where you see my Wednesday night games, they are going to be sponsoring one of the awards this year. So even though most of them are playing in the event, we are going to choose the coolest award, which I shamelessly stole from I believe Paul Buckler's the one that started this over in the UK. It's just the army we think is the coolest for any reason. Lore, how it looks, painting, anything. It's kind of like a TO's choice, but it's gonna be a group of us. Now, obviously, all of our armies will be excluded from that, so that takes away about half the field. But I asked them. I asked them if they'd help me do it, and they were all on board with it. So that'll be a fun little thing to have a little extra logo. I'm trying to make this as official looking as possible while still being the most unofficial fun ever. That's all I'm doing.
What if you open that up to just a player's vote as well? So like we could vote on your armies or anything like that.
That's going to be, I think, the best painted. I'm gonna let that be a best. I'm pretty sure, or that might be a separate. We'll see, but that's at least best painted will be a vote from everybody. So, and hey, if everyone's drunk enough and the person who has an unpainted army manages to convince us all to vote for him or her, they'll win.
I fully expect Matt to have some kind of Bugman's Brewery with him, so he can pass out the beers.
Yeah, you absolutely should.
Listening, Big M. You probably should be doing that.
Yeah, you might want to get that fake beard back on too.
Right.
We'll see. I mean, actually, our discussion in our little group chat earlier. I think I'm gonna start since I see Slapchop annoyingly everywhere. Whether it's fine, but I'm annoyed that it's everywhere. It's like, shut up and paint, everybody. I don't care. Don't you do you, just don't shove it in my face. That's when it gets annoying. But it's like, what, maybe I could capitalize on this, and I think I might start my own paint style. And remember the advice I gave Matt earlier?
I don't. What was I saying?
The advice I gave Matt earlier to help him become a better painter, or not a better painter, a quicker painter, is do what you're doing, just do it faster.
Just do it fast. That's right.
So I gotta think of a slappy, like a quick-witted name, like I don't know. We'll like Sonic painting. I don't know. We'll figure. It's in the test stages, but
or maybe just paint faster, you idiots.
Yeah. Shut up and paint. Just shut up and paint. How do you get armies done? What method? There's no secret. Just shut up and paint.
Yeah, stop playing video games. Stop playing Total War Warhammer 3.
Yeah, Neil.
And paint your fantasy army.
Yeah. There's one thing I've learned from all my lifting is there's no secret to anything. Just do the work and do it.
Yeah.
Consistently. That's it.
Yeah.
No, everyone wants a secret. They want to hack. Oh well. I could. That could be a rant on its own. But you know what? We're gonna stop it there because this has been a good episode. Short, it's sweet. I'll get it out a day early. Hope to see you all at the U.S. Open Kansas City. If not, check out my Twitter and Instagram, strengthhammer_. and just see all the fun that you could be having if you were there. But if you can't make it, I understand. You can live vicariously through my tweets. But that's it. Neil, any parting words?
No, sounds good. We look forward to seeing pictures and just hearing comments about the event.
Yeah, we'll do a recap next week about the event. It might be a little bit of a longer podcast. We might touch that hour. We'll see. Yeah, everyone, stay safe. Happy Halloween. Stay Stormcast strong, and see you next time.